Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be all about the journey into union with the person on your mind. This reading is going to be for various types of connections. So let's say, for example, you already have a very specific person in mind and you would like to know about your journey moving towards them. You can use this reading for that. You, for example, may have no idea who this person is yet, like your soulmate you have yet to meet, your soul family you have yet to meet. And even if you don't know who this person is yet, or you haven't met them in the 3D yet, you can still use this reading. You can even use this reading if you are not sure. For example, maybe you want to see about the journey to your future spouse, but you don't know if this future spouse is someone you already know yet or not. You can still use this reading. We'll get into it a little bit once you've chosen your group. I also want to mention that I know some people like to watch these readings for platonic connections, such as friendships, soul family relationships, creative or business partnerships. While this reading is definitely not inherently romantic, I do know that many people watch these readings for romantic connections, so those kinds of messages may be popping up here or there. So if a romantic message does seem to be popping up, I will try to provide an alternate interpretation for those of you who are watching this with a non-romantic connection in mind. However, you may have to use your discernment and modify or omit certain messages. So without further ado, let's get into your group selection. There are 4 readings to choose from today. We are going to be using a different tarot deck for each reading, and I've also placed different crystals on top to help you pick. And I am going to be showing you a major arcana for each group. It's going to be a different one. And so when you are choosing your group, you could be drawn to these crystals, the back artwork of the decks that you see here, the front artwork, the specific major arcana that came out for your group. If you do feel called to, you may want to scroll down to the timestamps, because one of the timestamps could have a number that is personally significant to you, or just a number that is jumping out to you. Is there anything else I want to say? I don't think so. Okay, without further ado, let's get a close-up look at each of your options. Group number 1's, I'm not sure what this is, but it is a black heart-shaped crystal, and we're going to be using the Mystic Dreams Advanced Tarot. And your major arcana is Jupiter, which is the Hierophant in this deck. For my group number 2's, we have some pink amethyst, and we're going to be using the Dreamy Moons Tarot. And your major arcana is Justice. For my group number 3's, we have some Smoky Quartz, and we're going to be using the Accurate AF Tarot. And your major arcana is the World. And for my group number 4's, we have some Rutilated Quartz, and we're going to be using the New Moon Tarot. And your major arcana is the Hanged Man. Okay, so just in case you need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. Group number 4 has a bit of glare. Maybe you can see it better now. So these are all of the options. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1's, so if you guys chose the black heart-shaped crystal and the Mystic Dreams Advanced Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So here is our breakdown for today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. So here on YouTube, we're just going to start off with a little energy check. This could be the current energies of the connection or the energetic potential. But if this part resonates with you, then that's how you'll know you have found your group. We are going to get some personalized messages today. So there's going to be be a message for those of you who have already met this person in the 3D, like you have a specific person in mind. And then there's also going to be a message for those of you who haven't met this person in the 3D yet. There will be timestamps so that you can skip either of these parts. Of course, you're welcome to listen to both. If you are not sure whether or not you've met this person yet, I would recommend listening to both parts, but regardless of your situation, there may be messages for you in both sections. Then we are going to get into the actual journey part. So over here, we're going to put the cards for your journey towards them. Over here, we're going to put the cards for their journey towards you. And then you're going to meet in the middle. And the cards that we pull in the middle will represent your union. So we're going to get to compare both of your timelines and then see how they weave together in the end. So that's going to be the reading here on YouTube. And then we have the extended, which is available on YouTube memberships. It's also available on Patreon or Vimeo. There's options to do a one-time purchase or a monthly membership, which would give you access to all the extendeds every month. If you are considering one of the membership options, I would just ask that you carefully read the descriptions of the different membership levels so that you know exactly what you are getting when you sign up. But I'm very grateful to everybody who considers that option, and to everybody who's here watching this right now. Thank you for being here. So in the extended, we are going to see how close are you actually to union energy at this current point in time. How close is your person to union energy? Then we're going to do a yes or no question. So this will be a question of your choice, but we're going to ask, will blank be how you imagine? In the future of this connection, will this play out how you imagine? So it's going to be up to you. We'll answer yes or no, including the reason why. And then we're also going to see any time frames, places, signs and synchronicities, or actions to be taken that you should know about moving forward in this connection. So that's the full breakdown of our reading today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it, starting with your energy check. So our first card is heart-to-heart conversations. Very sweet that you guys were drawn to the heart-shaped crystal. And then your first card is heart-to-heart conversations. And actually the first thing I want to say to you is that your heart has really been trying to talk to you. You may need to slow down or create moments of stillness and silence to really hear what your heart is saying. And I'm also hearing listen without judgment, and listen to what your heart says without immediately trying to decipher it, or without immediately trying to apply its messages to a 3D scenario. Maybe your heart has a message for you that is not really in human language, that is not really in words. Maybe it's not so readily applicable to the physical realm, but it is still very meaningful. Sit there and give your heart time to express itself. I'm hearing it has the key to your healing. Your heart knows what you need. Your heart knows how to heal you. Part of your journey right now may be about remembering the wisdom of your heart. I'm also hearing that the utterings of your heart are not a problem to be solved. They're a gift to receive. So we do have this message, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Also, I don't know if you heard, but my phone just went off. So if you know this person already, they could be sending you a text message soon. Especially they could be, I just saw 444, yeah. Especially they could be reaching out, like wanting to talk through something with you, wanting to have a deeper conversation. While I do think for some of you, this could be a message that you and your person are about to have a heart-to-heart, what I really felt most importantly when I looked at this card was like, you are having a conversation with your own heart. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Things are about to change. If you have felt signs and synchronicities are ramping up in your life, maybe over the past days, over the past weeks, for some of you, maybe it's even gone on for more than a month. If you have felt signs and synchronicities ramping up If you have just had this weird lurking feeling inside of you that some big shift is about to happen, this is probably your group. Something else that I'm noticing in the intro, when you chose your group, oh no, did I already shuffle the deck? Anyway, the card I showed you from your deck was Jupiter. It was the Hierophant, 555 as I'm saying that. Hierophant is the number 5. So the number 5 is significant to this group, and the planet Jupiter is also significant because that's the card that you chose in the intro, and the Wheel of Fortune is also related to Jupiter. So I want to confirm to you this feeling that's been stirring inside of you that something big is about to shift. That is true, and this shift is going to bring about expansion. Jupiter is all about growth, expansion, blessings, good luck. So whatever this shift is, it's positive. That's also something I want you to know, because sometimes I feel like we can have this feeling inside of us like something big's about to shift, but we don't know if the shift is good or bad, and so we can be a little bit nervous. Your guides want you to know that the shift is positive. That doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable right away. Could be a bit uncomfortable or scary as you make this shift happen, I'm hearing, but it is going to be a positive thing that's going to bring you more blessings. I also feel like this is your group if the connection on your mind has been pretty unpredictable up until now, or it kind of goes through phases, like it goes through ups and downs. We have Neptune, dream and transcend. There is an otherworldly quality to this connection. Neptune paired with the Wheel of Fortune, Neptune paired with this Jupiter energy. I would bet that you do see a lot of signs and synchronicities pertaining to this connection. And this is an interesting message. I'm hearing that this connection has actually taught you about everything. It's taught you, it's not just like, oh, this connection taught me about myself. This connection taught me about life. It's like, it really feels like your connection to this person has taught you about everything. Everything that there is. You can gain, okay, I'm hearing like hologram. I don't know. I guess it's like, because you can, from one piece of the hologram, you can get the whole thing. Information about everything is in everything. So like, you're learning about everything from this connection. I swear that made more sense in my head, but if it's for you, hopefully you know what I mean. And then we also have full moon, and my dears, look at what number this card is. It's the number 5. Number 5 is significant. The letter V is also significant. Full moon, and look, the full moon has an emphasis on its third eye. So this connection has definitely made you more not made you sensitive, increased your sensitivities to your emotions. I'm seeing your heart literally emitting waves. And this connection has helped you to become more sensitively attuned to like the waves that your heart emits. You can feel these subtle currents in the world around you. I guess I could say that it's heightened your psychic abilities, but it's not even just that. It's like made you more attuned to the subtle energies that move about the earth, not just to the obvious ones. So it's definitely increased your awareness. There's probably some things that you've learned about, or things that you've learned how to do, that you can't just talk to anyone about it, because some people would say like, that's woo-woo, that's crazy. Spiritual people will get it. But there's certain abilities that you've gained on this journey and certain insights that you've gained on this journey that you couldn't just go telling anyone about. That's coming through. Okay, so hopefully by now you can tell whether this is your group. This is very interesting energy. We're gonna get into is Neptune in Aries right now? I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know. At the time that I'm filming this, Jupiter is in Cancer and Neptune is in Aries. I'm just mentioning that because those are the two planets that came up. So, yeah. But it's going to retrograde. Let me see what Neptune's doing. I don't know. I feel like looking at this. Yeah, Neptune's going to retrograde back into the sign of Pisces on October 22nd, according to this article. So at that time, both Jupiter and Neptune are going to be in water signs. And I feel like that's important. You could be extra sensitive around that time, okay? And I just saw 11:22. So I don't know when you're watching this, but from October 22nd to like early 2026, maybe January of 2026, you could be particularly sensitive. I'm not trying to say a scary message, but sometimes you might feel like you're kind of going crazy because maybe your dreams are going crazy or your psychic experiences are going crazy or you're just feeling particularly sensitive. I'm just letting you know that. I feel like when both of these planets are in water signs, it's going to be an interesting experience. All right, so let's get into the personalized messages. We are going to pull a card for those of you who have met your person in the 3D already, and a card for those of you who haven't. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're not sure, you might want to stick around for both messages and see what resonates with you. You are welcome to stick around for both regardless of your situation, but if you would like to skip ahead, there's going to be timestamps down below to do that. Okay, let's pull a card for those of you who have met this person in the 3D, and a card for those of you who haven't. Okay. Starting with those of you who have. If you would like to skip this part, this will be the timestamp to do so. There will also be a clickable one down below. We have the Tower. Okay, for those of you who have met this person, it's very likely that the first time you met them, I'm actually hearing the first time you laid eyes on them. So this could even be like, I don't know, maybe the first time you met them, so to speak, was like FaceTime, or you saw a photo of them, or you heard their, no, I was gonna say heard their voice, which could be for some of you, but it does feel more like laying eyes on them or some kind of eye contact. It feels like it was very intense. The Tower card for relationships, it does give the feeling of you met someone and you're like, oh shit, like my life is never gonna be the same. No one or nothing has made me feel this way. What is going on? There is an amplifying energy to this connection. So if you met this person when you were at a turbulent place in your life, or when you had inner turbulence, it's like meeting them might amplify that turbulence. But in the same way, if you meet them at a peaceful time in your life and you meet them when you're feeling a lot of inner peace, they will amplify that peace. Their energy sort of feels like a magnifying glass to whatever is going on inside of you. They help you see your inner world. And actually, now that I think about it, that's very Jupiter Neptune-y. Like, it amplifies the inner world, it amplifies the unconscious. If there's a part of your unconscious that you want to run away from, do not meet this person. Do not step in front of this person. I know that can be kind of a scary message, but you can also have a lot of beautiful things in your subconscious. You can have a lot of beautiful dreams, a lot of beautiful ideas, a lot of beautiful visions for the world. You can have a lot of peace, a lot of love, and so they will amplify all of that as well. I'm seeing that your connection is like an ocean, you know? So sometimes the ocean can be very calm and easy to just float on by, or there can be waves, and sometimes waves are fun, sometimes waves are frustrating, sometimes waves are scary, depends on what you're trying to do. But I think a lot of this connection, it's about like learning how to swim in that ocean and learning how to harness the movement of the ocean, or how to utilize the stillness of the ocean in those times. But it feels very vast. It feels very deep. And you would know if you met this person, because especially your first meeting feels like it was very intense. Like you maybe felt like you got hit by lightning, or you went through some kind of expedited ego death, like it happened all at once. I'm hearing you felt bare in some way. You felt bare, you felt exposed. Something else you'll notice about this connection is that as you go through the ups and downs of life, as things come and go from your life, this connection always stays. Through like purging, through loss, through burning old versions of yourself, its energy seems to stay there. I'm gonna roll, I don't know how many dice I want to take. Let's see. We have Sagittarius. Someone could have Mars in Sagittarius, or wait a minute. Sorry, I have to go back to, we were talking about October being significant because you could be particularly sensitive around that time. And I have a sneaking suspicion that Mars might be, oh no, it's still in Scorpio, but it's gonna enter Sag in November then, I bet you. Yes, it is. So like, okay, it enters Sag on November 5th. Sorry, I'm saying like really specific dates, and I realize that you might be watching this at a later time, but the dates between October 22nd and November 5th could be significant. Oh my gosh, yeah, because at that time, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, the North Node, they're all gonna be in water signs. I feel like that's gonna be super intense for you. And even if you're watching this afterwards, you may be able to look back at that period and recognize that, like, I don't know, something really crazy happened in that time, like in your inner world. You maybe had a huge psychic breakthrough, or like a huge revelation. I just heard explosive healing, which sounds very weird. Maybe it's like a huge emotional release and you just feel so much more lucid after that. Interesting word. But yeah, this connection definitely has an amplifying effect on your inner world. I feel like I'm choosing very like unusual but specific words for this group. So I wonder if like specific things I'm saying are a sign for someone. But let's look at the card for those of you who have not met this person in the 3D. So if you want to skip this part, this will be the timestamp to do so. There's also going to be a clickable one down below for you. We have the 6 of Wands. Okay. For those of you who haven't met this person before in the 3D, it is possible that some of you already know of this person. Like you know of their existence. Because the 6 of Wands, it does often indicate to me, it could be a crush, or like romantic or platonic, because you can definitely have a platonic crush on someone, or like someone that you really look up to, someone you admire. For some of you, this could be the other way around, like this person knows of you and they're kind of a secret admirer, or they have a secret crush on you. But I'm getting the feeling that there is a significant portion of this group who it's like, maybe you haven't met in the 3D, but you know each other, or you know of each other. And it could even be a mutual admiration, a mutual crushing that is going on. You could have, like, for example, a mutual friend, and so you both know of each other and you're both crushing on each other and kind of want to meet each other. There's a vibe like that. If you are really like, no, I don't think I've met this person, I think that from your first meeting, you will have, I'm hearing it's like a crush that doesn't feel intimidating. So you're like, wow, this person is so cool, but it's not like you feel nervous or anxious around them. It's not like you feel intimidated by them and by their amazingness. It's actually just a crush that inspires you. So there's something aspirational about them. And you want to be more like them, but not in a way that you're measuring up against them or like comparing yourself to them. It doesn't feel like that. It feels really nice. It feels really uplifting. We're gonna get a die for you. We have Neptune, so that's a repetition. I would really bet that most of you like at least know of this person, or you're very familiar with their energy. With Neptune here, there's a couple ways I could interpret this. Some of you have already dreamed about this person, even if you haven't met in the 3D, or maybe you've seen them in meditations, or you felt their energy around, or this is kind of a funny and like specific message, but there could be, if there's like a fictional character that you feel an affinity towards, it could be because that character is very similar to your person in terms of their personality, their looks, or just like their overall vibe. So when you meet this person, look out for like feelings of admiration, feelings of aspiration, feelings of crushing, or like they remind you a lot of, you know, maybe it's like your favorite movie character or your favorite character in a novel. And especially like if you've wondered, why do I like this character so much? It's probably because they're so similar to your person. And something else I want to mention, these are very obviously not cups, but when I saw this card at first, I almost said the Six of Cups. So it's, yeah, it really feels like a crush without the butterflies because they just feel really familiar. They feel really familiar and really inspirational. And there's no need to compare yourself to them. It's like we're just uplifting each other and we're in this together. We have even more, because the Six of Wands is related to the sign of Jupiter. So there's even more Jupiter energy here, which is crazy. Like Jupiter and Neptune seem to be really significant. I don't know. If you are interested in astrology, maybe keep your eye on what those planets are doing and like how they're interacting with you. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for your personalized messages. So now we're gonna get into your journeys. We have this deck that you guys chose at the beginning, the Mystic Dreams Advanced Tarot. That's gonna represent your side of the journey. And then we have their deck, which is the Star Child Tarot Akashic edition, which is going to represent their journey. Sorry, I was just spacing out a bit because I was thinking about whether or not I want to take reversals, and I think we are going to take reversals for this part. So this is going to be like a timeline. We are starting with your journey into union, and we're starting with the Five of Wands in reverse. Then we have the Ten of Wands in the upright. And then we have Divine Masculine, which is the Emperor in reverse. So this represents your timeline. For your person's timeline, we have, oh, wow, the Emperor in reverse again. You have the exact same card in the same orientation in your journey. We have the Ace of Wands in the upright. And we have Serenity, which is the Hermit card in reverse. And then for your union energy, we're going to look at both of your bottom of the deck energies. So for you, it's the Ruler of Pentacles in reverse, which is the King of Pentacles. For your person, we have Perspective in the upright, which is the Hanged Man. And then we're gonna pull one more card to tie it all together. The Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay. I will just say before we get into it, Ten of Swords in reverse very much has like, it's not over energy. And I'm also noticing that there's a broken heart on this card. So in the reverse, there is a feeling of healing a broken heart. Could be it's not over, could also be it's not too late. And a lot of your journey has to do with strengthening your relationship with your heart and listening to what your heart has to tell you. So I think for you, this message could translate to, it's not too late to build this relationship with your heart. Like, it's never too late to start listening to your heart. And it's also not too late to realize a dream that your heart has, to make a wish come true. Your heart sort of exists beyond time, because your heart is more than just, obviously, I don't have to tell you this, but your heart is more than just the physical organ in your chest. Your heart has a spirit and exists beyond the physical realm and exists beyond time and space. And so your heart doesn't care how long something is taking. Your heart doesn't care how long it's taken for something to come true, or how long it's taken for you to listen, how long it's taken for you to honor your heart. Your heart doesn't care. Your heart does not hold grudges against you or anything really. Like, your heart is unconditional love, and your heart loves you unconditionally, and it's never too late, and it's never over. There was a message about, in this section of the reading, about a connection that is sort of indestructible through time. I'm seeing a tower that is not physical. I don't know. It's like a tower that exists in the non-physical realm. So nothing physical could destroy the tower. Physical rain cannot destroy a tower in the spirit realm. Physical wind, physical lightning, physical fire cannot destroy a tower that has its foundations in the spirit realm. And I think this is an analogy for your connection. Nothing that is said or done on the physical plane could really destroy something that has its foundations in the spiritual realm. That's important. I do find it interesting that the card that represents the end of your journey, the Emperor in the reverse, is the card that represents the beginning of your person's journey. So there's something about you going through your journey and reaching a point where you have now like anchored yourself in this energy of being ready for union, and you anchoring yourself in that is what triggers your person to start their journey. I'm hearing baton touch, which I don't know if you say that in English, but like when you're doing a relay, baton pass or something. I don't know. You're passing on yeah, it's like a relay. Okay, so we are going to focus on your side of the reading first. Your timeline starts with the Five of Wands in reverse. It starts with the resolution of some inner conflict. I'm hearing this is when you can start moving into this union energy. And your heart is really just taking front and center stage. They are taking up this whole reading. I really think that's why intuitively you were drawn to the heart-shaped crystal, because your heart's like, I have some things to say. I just imagine them like, you know, when you like tap the microphone, testing, and they're like on a podium. Yeah, they want to talk. I just saw 31 as well. So 31 could be a significant number, the 31st of a month, or the age 31, 13 also. There's been a lot of interference. I'm not gonna lie. There's been a lot of interference with what your heart is telling you. Sometimes it's your own thoughts and your own ego interfering, your own desire to make everything logical, a desire to protect yourself from vulnerability, a desire to, I'm hearing, to prematurely understand everything, like forcing things that are not meant to be understood yet. I'm also seeing someone trying to squeeze juice out of an unripe fruit, which I think is some analogy for trying to gain insights or trying to gain answers before it's time. Sort of trying to rush the heart's message and then getting fed up with it and then not listening to it because it's not like speaking as fast as you would like it, or as concisely as you would like it, as your ego would like it. But other times it could be external things that are interfering with your heart, just the busyness of everyday life, social demands on your energy, demands on your time, things that drain you. Feeling the need to meet others' expectations, feeling the need to fit your life neatly into boxes. All of those things can sort of disrupt the signal that your heart is trying to send you. And I really think the beginning of your journey into union, or at least the portion of the journey that we're seeing here, starts with you making uninterrupted time for your heart to speak without any distractions, without any disruptions, without any questioning. To let them speak and to let them finish. And sometimes a heart speaking, it takes longer than a human speaking a sentence. You know, it could take a couple weeks, it could take a month or something for them to finish their message. But when you say, like, heart, I recognize that you have the wisdom and I'm going to give you my undivided attention, that's when this next leg of the journey is unlocked. Because I don't have to say this again, like, your heart's coming through so strongly in this reading, and I think that they're going to step up and be your biggest guide for this next chapter. I also felt with the 10 of Wands that there's something that you've known you need to do, or something that you felt called to do for a long time, but part of you is avoiding it because of the perception that it's going to be a lot of effort. Now, I don't know, like, for some of you, maybe it really is a lot of effort. For some of you, it could just be that you think it's going to be really tedious, but it's actually not. But a very, very simple example of this energy is like, I know I have to clean my house, but I'm putting it off because I know it's just going to be so much work and it feels overwhelming. I know I need to to pursue my dream. I know I need to take action to make my dream a reality, but it just seems like it's going to be so much work, so much effort. Yeah, it's overwhelming, and so you put it off. The brain is very good at doing that, at procrastinating on things that seem overwhelming. I think the next step, and I think it is worth noting that this union with your heart is the first step, and then this realization that I can do things that are difficult, or I can do things that take a lot of work. Like, yes, this path might take a lot of effort, but lucky for me, I can make big efforts. There's something about connecting to your heart that makes it seem less overwhelming. I also think that a big part of it becoming less overwhelming is that you're sort of cleansing, I want to say, the part of you that would do this work to prove yourself to others. So the big effort that you're doing becomes like a labor of love for the path itself, for the project itself, for the task itself, for the mission itself. Not like, everyone, look at all this hard work I'm doing. I feel like that adds an extra layer of pressure. To put that pressure on yourself, not only do you have to do this work, but it has to please other people. Not only do you have to do this work, but it has to be impressive to other people, or it has to look a certain way to other people. It doesn't. It's like tending to a garden because you care about the well-being of the flowers versus tending to a garden because you want to show off to your neighbors how pretty your garden is. And it's okay, let me be very clear, it's okay to be proud of your beautiful garden, but when that's your motivation for nourishing the flowers can sense that. So removing that pressure of like, it's like you're saying to the flowers, you don't have to be the most aesthetically pleasing flowers. You don't have to impress anyone. You just have to be you, and you just have to grow and take up as much space as you want. And I promise I'm going to nourish you. This is the energy that you're pouring into your task, whatever it might be. It's going to be different for everyone. This is the energy that you're pouring into your project. This is the energy that you're pouring into your life. Yes, it's hard work, but you can do the hard work. And hard work doesn't have to be draining. Hard work can feel recharging. Hard work can feel fulfilling. There's something beautiful about this effort. And that you're making the effort like for you or for the path itself. This Emperor in reverse, it's about dismantling a structure, dismantling a box that you put yourself in. And this is kind of like the last thing that you do before coming into union. And this leads me to believe that your person observes you coming out of the box, and it inspires them to do the same. There's a rigid way of being that you are coming out of. For some of you, there could be a component about no longer blindly following authority, or no longer following the structures and the conventions and saying, I'm going to do it my own way. Going back to that garden example, this would be like you saying, I don't care if when my flowers grow, they look completely different than someone else's flowers of the same kind. I don't care if my layout of the garden looks different to other people's. Your life is becoming less and less, like as you go through this journey, it's becoming less and less about fitting into molds or checking off boxes. That's a big one. Like checking things off a list. Your life is becoming less about that. The more you start to be guided by your heart. It's like you're not using a recipe. I could say it like that. You're not following instructions. It feels like a rejection of authority or a rejection of someone else, like imposing on you what steps your journey has to take. What it has to look like. So you're doing something outside of the mold and it's catching your person's attention. And actually, with this Ace of Wands here, it is inspiring them into action. There's something that your person has been holding inside of them, something that they've been wanting to express, something that they've been wanting to create, but they felt scared to do that. But when they see you coming out of your shell, when they see you stepping outside the box, they feel less alone and they feel less scared. Your person's gonna make something that's inspired by you. It's either like they've already created something and you inspire them to actually share it and put it out there, or they're actually seeing you, and I'm hearing being so enamored that they make something like dedicated to you. So it's either the actual production of it or the sharing of it that is inspired by you. You are being the catalyst for a major creative era in your person's life. They're going to be making a lot, or they're going to start on a new path or start a new project that's really exciting to them because of you. It's like you gave them the courage to do that. You showed them that it was possible. You showed them that they didn't have to be afraid. And their last step in the journey is the Hermit in reverse. And I'm taking this quite literally to mean that they are going to step out of hermit mode. They've been in this energy of thinking and thinking and planning, and you get stuck in that. Thinking about making something, thinking about sharing something, but never actually doing it. Just keeping it hidden away in their inner world. You make them not want to hide. You make them not afraid of their ideas being seen. I just heard something like, in the past, your person has sort of hidden behind others' ideas. So maybe there's someone who, they work in a team, they work in a group, they create through collaborations, which is beautiful, but they can sort of hide within the group, hide within the team, not boldly put their name on something and be like, this is me, not boldly pour their essence into something. That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of making something and explicitly being like, look world, this is my brainchild, this is my idea. There's something that they could be afraid to do independently. I'm also hearing they're afraid to have all eyes on them. They're okay with having some eyes on them. They're okay with having eyes in their general direction, but to be individually focused on or something that they produced or expressed or created independently, to have focus. I feel like that's kind of scary for them, and you're giving them the courage to be able to do that. There's definitely feelings of breaking traditions and gaining a new perspective. Your union energy is the King of Pentacles in reverse and the Hanged Man. For some reason, I feel like you could be coming together in a kind of surprising way or an unconventional way. If you have an idea in your mind of how you're going to come into union with this person, take this with a grain of salt. I feel like it might not be that, or it's like yes, but with a twist. You're in the ballpark, but there's a bit of a twist to how you will come together. And the reason you can't see it yet is because of a perspective that you have yet to gain. You're still, part of your thinking is still chained to the physical realm. I just heard like you're taking the physical realm too literally, and I don't really know what that means. There's the physical circumstances, but you don't realize that you can go around them. You don't have to play by the rules. You don't have to play by the norms. You don't have to take the same paths that everybody else does. It's like you have a special key to this union. You have a special key. You have a special pass. You get specially escorted. What am I trying to say? Like there's some process that you don't have to go through. This is really weird, but I'm thinking of an application process. Like, you know, first you have to go to an interview, then you have to fill out this paperwork, and then you have to go through 3 rounds of blah, blah, blah. It's like, there's some process in the physical realm that everyone goes through for something, but you're being encouraged to think outside of that box. Like, you don't have to choose that same way. It's a bit of a vague message, but that's how it's coming through. You don't need to rely on external structures or rely on anyone else to bring about this union for you, or even to bring about like the realization of your dreams for you. You can do all of that. Your heart can do all of that. When you put your hearts together, you can do anything. Your hearts coordinate, your hearts conspire, your hearts whisper to each other. I think you come into union not from some carefully constructed plan, but by following your gut instincts from day to day, from listening to the whispers of your heart. But there's some old, boxy, rigid way of thinking that just must go out the window. And you have to commit to something. Stop avoiding something because you think it's going to be a lot of work. Yes, it is going to be a lot of work, and you can do it, to put it bluntly. And your ability to do that is inspiring to not only your person, but I'm sure to many people. Is there anything else I want to say? I think that's what you need to know so far. So we are going to get into the extended now, where we see how close are you currently to this union? How close is your person to this union? We're going to answer a yes or no question. So will something play out as you imagined, or will something be as you imagined? Yes or no, including the reason why. And then we're going to see any time frames, places, signs and synchronicities, actions to be taken, anything that you should know about when it comes to the next steps in this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, that's going to be linked down below. I will have the links to the extended available on different platforms, whether you want to join me in YouTube memberships, on Patreon, on Vimeo. It's the same content everywhere, just different platforms. So I will meet you wherever you want to meet me. And if you're going to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, the memberships where you can watch the extended readings that we do here on this channel. You can also watch exclusive full-length pick a card readings. So I will have those linked down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number twos. So if you guys chose the pink Amethyst and the Dreamy Moons Tarot, this is going to be your reading. There's a couple of things that happened before I started filming your reading that I want to share with you. The first one is that I had the song Ain't No Other Man by Christina Aguilera in my head. So that song could be significant to someone, or maybe there's a message for you in the lyrics. I will have it linked down below. And I also looked it up, and apparently it came out in 2006, which makes me feel very old, but the year 2006 could be significant to someone as well. And then the other thing that happened was that I felt intuitively called to go to my window. So I walked up to my window and pulled aside the curtain, and just at that moment there was a beautiful big yellow butterfly so gracefully just fluttering past the window. The timing was perfect. So butterflies, or even more specifically yellow butterflies, could be significant to someone. But I wanted to mention those two things as they could be signs. So this is the breakdown of our reading today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. We are going to start off this reading with an energy check to make sure that it is your group. We are also going to do personalized messages today. So there will be a message for those of you who have met your person in the 3D already, and a message for those of you who haven't. Like I mentioned in the intro, if you're not sure whether or not you've met your person yet, I recommend listening to both of these messages. But regardless of your situation, you are of course welcome to stick around and listen to both. There just may happen to be messages for you in both parts. But if you do want to skip one of them, there's going to be timestamps for you to do that. Then we're going to get into the actual journey. So we are going to lay your cards here to represent your journey to them, their cards here to represent their journey to you. So we're going to kind of compare your timelines and see how they interact with each other. And then we are going to pull the cards in the middle to represent your union energy. And it's funny, as I'm talking about your union, the camera timer just went to 222. So that definitely feels significant. Yeah, so that's going to be the reading here. And then in the extended, we are going to see how close are you at the time that you're watching this, how close are you to union energy, and how close is your person. We're gonna see, okay, so this is a yes or no question about whether or not something's going to play out as you're imagining. So that will be up to you. Will blank happen as I'm imagining it? Yes or no, including the reason why, and what you could do to change the answer if you wanted to. Then we're also going to see any time frames, places, signs and synchronicities, actions to be taken, any information that you need to know about the next steps pertaining to this connection. So that's going to be our extended. I'll have the links to the different platforms down below. There are some options of just a one-time purchase or some options of a monthly membership, which would give you access to all the extended readings every month. If you are considering a membership option, I would just ask that you carefully read the description of the different membership levels so that you know exactly what you are getting. But I'm very grateful to everyone who considers that option, and I'm very grateful to everyone who is here watching this right now. Thank you so much for being here. And now let's get into your reading. So we're gonna start off with your energy check to make sure this is your group. We have wedding. This situation involves marriage. So of course this could be very literal. For some of you, this person you're asking about could be your future spouse, or the situation that you're asking about could involve a serious long-term commitment, an official commitment of some kind. We have the Six of Wands, 444, as I'm holding up the Six of Wands. We have Yin, so this is feminine energy. We have all the feminine signs here. This is a lot, but it's earth signs and water signs. Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces. Intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. And we have manifest. Okay, so it's pretty clear. Interesting wording coming through, because I want to say that you are actively manifesting this connection, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be taking external action right now. Many of you could be manifesting this connection on planes other than the physical plane. That's not to say you won't take any physical action at all, but you will take so when it feels right. I'm also getting the sense that this union is not something you are rushing because you want it to happen in divine timing. I believe that if this is your group, you do firmly believe in divine timing. You've probably seen it work in your life in amazing ways. If this is your group, you can probably look to the past of really big things that you have manifested. I also feel like group number 2, you're a very good manifester, and you would probably identify yourself as such. But I think that you can look back to past things that you've manifested and recognize that they happened at the perfect time. Even if it wasn't exactly when your ego wanted it to happen, it's like you see what the universe was doing. You see why it had to happen in that order, or it had to happen in that timing, or why what you maybe perceived as a delay in the moment was actually working in your favor. Based on your past experiences and your past successes in manifesting beautiful things for yourself in a meaningful way, I think you've really come to appreciate divine timing. So you seems like you are not in a rush. I think you are confident in the fact that you're manifesting this connection. You know, doubt can creep in sometimes, but I think for the most part, you're very confident. You trust that it's going to happen at the perfect time. And you're not going to force any action that doesn't feel aligned. There have maybe been instances in your life too where you want to manifest something and people kind of give you advice like, well, why don't you do this? Well, why don't you try that? And you're like, well, I'm not going to do that just because someone's suggesting me to do that. I'm only going to take action when it feels aligned. I'm getting High Priestess vibes from you, group number 2, which is interesting because High Priestess is card number 2. But that's like the embodiment of yin and divine feminine energy, and manifesting not just by doing, but manifesting by attracting, by being, by, I'm hearing pulling it into your orbit. The sun does not chase the earth. The sun does not chase the earth. The earth gets gravitated towards the sun and orbits around it. And I feel like that's how you manifest. The Earth doesn't chase the moon around. The moon just gravitates to the Earth and orbits it. You get it. I feel like you are an attractor. Your very being, your very essence attracts what you need into your life. I feel like you have a great relationship with divine timing. You have a great relationship with the universe and also just with the planet Earth. I'm also seeing an egg, which is making me think of something is in its... Okay, the word gestation is coming to my mind, which I think is like when something's getting ready to be born. The egg represents birth, a birth or a rebirth. I also think with the Six of Wands here, in many ways, the manifestation of this union could be in alignment, kind of coincide with the manifestation of you becoming your ideal self. So when you visualize yourself with this person, I think you very much visualize yourself as your ideal self. There may be certain things that you want to achieve for yourself before you come into this union, a certain version of you that you want to be before you come into this union. But we must make the distinction, I'm hearing, that this doesn't come from a place of feeling unworthy. I don't sense that my group number twos are saying, oh, I want to achieve this before I meet my person because I have to, otherwise I'm not worthy. No, this is your preference. This is what you want. I just want to be that version of myself before I get married, before I come into union with my soulmate. It feels very much on your own terms. Not like you have to become this to be worthy of union. You just want to become it as part of your divine timeline. So I feel a lot of trust emanating from you, and I feel a lot of empowerment. It's a really nice energy. So we're gonna get into the personalized messages. I'm gonna pull one card for each. So a card for those of you who have met this person in the 3D, and for those of you who haven't. We'll start with the card for those of you who have. Once again, you're welcome to stay for this whole part, but if you do want to skip this part, this will be the timestamp to do so. There will also be a clickable timestamp down below. If you have met your person in the 3D, your card is Death. So I'm getting the feeling that you've maybe not seen your person in a while, because there's this feeling of the next time you see each other, you are going to be drastically different as people, or you will be at drastically different places in your life compared to the last time you saw each other or the last time you spoke. Now, I guess it is possible that one or both of you went through huge life-changing events in a very short time. But I would bet for most of you it's been some time. Like maybe you haven't seen this person in a few months, or maybe even in a few years, depending on the situation. But the evolution, the metamorphosis that both of you will have been through will be really impressive and really striking. I would also bet that before you see them again, you're gonna start to get comments from people around you, like you've changed so much. People saying that they're impressed by your growth, they're impressed by your evolution, you're like a whole new person. But they're saying this in a positive way, not in like hey, you've changed, I miss the old you. No, people are like, wow, you've completely reinvented yourself, you've completely transformed, you're like a whole new person. I feel like people are proud of you for this, and they are bringing up the ways in which you've changed as like positive reinforcement. Some of you could have also gone through a significant physical transformation. I'm hearing whether that was intentional or not. You've gone through an intense physical transformation. Some of you are kind of worried about how your person might view you differently because you have changed quite a bit. these worries might kind of come and go, because like I said, self-doubt can always creep in. You can be the most self-assured, confident person, and you're still gonna have moments like that. But I think more than anything, both of you are just gonna be really proud of each other in terms of the changes that you have gone through. There's an old dynamic that you will no longer engage in with this person, and I think that's for the best. You're not going to go back to the way things were before, and that's for the best. We're not engaging in that cycle anymore. We're not playing that game anymore. I feel like the next time you see each other, there's going to be a lot of maturing that has happened. So let's roll a die for you. Wow, we have Pluto. So is it Plutonian? Anyway, Pluto energy and Scorpio energy, which are associated with each other, are coming through strongly. There's really heavy vibes of transformation, evolution, closing off a cycle with this person, not going back to the way things were before, and that's a good thing. This Scorpio Pluto energy could also be talking about a deeper level of intimacy that happens the next time you see each other in a way that hasn't happened before. So there could be a level of emotional intimacy or vulnerability that you reach with your person that is unprecedented. Or for example, like if this is a romantic connection, maybe you've never been physically intimate with each other, and then like the next time you see each other, you will be. Or maybe it's like a spiritual intimacy where there's more vulnerability and openness about your spiritual experiences, but there is like an unprecedented level of intimacy that's being reached. And there's also, my attention is being drawn to my sacral chakra. So you may have a really strong guidance system in your gut, like in your belly. You can feel when something is aligned or when something is not aligned. Maybe even you kind of get premonitions from that energy center. So for example, if you wake up with a feeling in your belly, you're like, oh, something's gonna happen today. You can just kind of tell from that energy center. Okay, so a message for those of you who have not met your person in the 3D yet. If you want to skip this one, this is the timestamp to do so. There will also be a clickable one down below. We have the Chariot. Okay, if you have not met your person in the 3D yet, you are going to be meeting them very soon. The Chariot is like, let's go. It's a green light, it's forward motion, it's energy gaining momentum. You are going to notice, if you haven't noticed yet, it feels like your life is speeding up. You might quite literally feel like time is moving faster. Like, I feel like I do this every week. I'm like, oh my God, it's already Friday. I can't believe it's already Friday. Just like the weeks go by so fast. You might start to notice like, oh my gosh, is the month already over? Has it already been 6 months since I last did XYZ? You could quite literally feel like the time is going really fast, or things in your life are just moving faster. Things that once took you months to do, you're now able to do it in a week. Processes, various processes. This is kind of vague, right? Various processes in your life are getting faster. You may also start to notice, if you do intention setting or like manifesting, I would suggest writing down the date that you initially set the intention, because you'll start to notice that the time from when you set the intention to when the time it happens is getting faster and faster. I'm hearing something about a timeline shift or a timeline collapsing, but things are going to start happening quickly. I'm also hearing the word transfer. So you or your person could be getting transferred. Like transferred to another branch in your company or transferred to another city. Someone's getting transferred, someone's being temporarily positioned in a certain place, which could allow for your meeting. There could be something with moving, relocation, or travel. that is leading to your meeting as well. So let's roll a die for you. We have the sign of Gemini. This came out for group number 1 as well, but it makes sense because we're all spiritual, we're all psychic here. Like, it's quite likely that you will have dreams about your person before meeting them, and they might actually appear similarly to how they look in your waking life. Similarly. At least they will appear in a literal way, okay? So it's not like you're gonna dream about a light being and this light being is your person. Like, no, they will look like an actual person and they will be speaking actual words to you. Pay attention to what is spoken to you in dreams. Pay attention to the plain language rather than signs and symbolism, because that's how the messages from the divine are reaching you right now. And speaking of travel and relocation, for some of you, this is going to be to a faraway place. So you could meet your person when you're traveling in a faraway place, or you are moving to a faraway place. They are moving from a faraway place to be near you. And I also feel like before you meet them, you're going to be entering into a new chapter that you don't feel quite ready for. And I'm hearing like, I guess this is happening. So maybe you didn't expect to, it's like you get a promotion that you don't feel ready for. And you're just like, okay, this is happening now. It's happening. And there's a feeling of like, I don't feel ready for this, but I'm just gonna fake it till I make it. I'm just gonna have to wing it. Yeah. I also think a sign that you've met them, there's gonna be a lot of really weird similarities between the two of you. Like, you have a spooky amount of things in common. It could be about like your childhood, your past, even certain things about your physical appearance, certain things in your birth charts could just be weirdly similar. Your names, your possessions, things in your home. It's just like too spookily similar. If there are other people around you, people would probably joke that you're like the same person. Yeah. Okay, so these conclude the personalized messages. So we are going to get into your journeys now. So we're going to use the deck that you chose, the Dreamy Moons Tarot, for your timeline, and we're going to use the Star Child Tarot Akashic Edition for their timeline. And we are going to be taking reversals for this part. What does my group number 2's timeline look like? We have the King of Stars in reverse, which is the King of Pentacles. We have the Devil in reverse. And we have the Tower in the upright. Kind of intense energies here. For your person's timeline, we have the Knight of Crystals in reverse, which is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse. And we have Temperance in reverse. Okay, makes sense. So for your union energy, we are going to combine your bottom of the deck cards, and then I'm just gonna pull one last card to tie everything together. So we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. A lot of reversals. And one last card to tie everything together is the Seven of Cups in reverse. Wow, there's a lot of reversals. I think the Tower here is the only card that's in the upright, but most of these reversals are not bad. We will get into it. I want to start by going through your timeline, and I think that you will be able to figure out where you're at in this timeline. Basically, what I'm seeing here is an energy of you freeing yourself from a okay. It's either... Okay, sorry, let me gather my thoughts for a second. For those of you who are currently in a restrictive situation, or you have been in a restrictive situation, this is the journey of you getting out of that. So it was a situation that took away your freedoms, or it felt like you had to really stifle your soul to stay in this situation or stay in this environment. It didn't allow you to do what you truly wanted to do. Maybe you had to suppress certain parts of your identity, or you had to ignore certain desires or passions just to stay here. So, and it's going to be different for different people. It could be a relationship or relationships that made you feel this way, a community, an environment, a job, just a role, a way that you showed up in the world that felt really restrictive, like when you're wearing clothes that are too tight and you can't move. You can't move freely. Some of you maybe felt like you were under a microscope, that your every move was being scrutinized, that your every move was being criticized. There could have been some controlling people or controlling forces around you. And this journey of you freeing yourself from that is a big part of your journey to union. And I think that intuitively you've known this. Just looking at the Devil card, there's a feeling of, I'm doing this for us. Like, yes, you're doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for like you and your counterpart as well. If there's one thing that maybe kept you in the restrictive environment or the restrictive situation, it could have been a fear of starting from scratch, a fear of starting your life over, a fear of starting a project over, or just a certain area of your life. Feeling like you would really be going back to square one. There could be some support or connections that you were losing, some progress that you were losing. Like, am I really gonna build something up from the ground again? And it's interesting that the Tower is the last step in your journey, because I think that's what this represents. It's like, you know that this situation is holding you back, but you're afraid of starting over. For others of you, I feel like this journey is you forging a way ahead for yourself without even getting into the restrictive situation in the first place. So it's like you have this dream. This is you, this is your dream. And the conventional way to get there just feels too restrictive to you. And so you refuse to take that way there, even if that's the norm, even if that's what people say you should do. you're like, and I feel like this goes back to you trusting in divine timing and not being in a rush. Because you're like, no, I'm not. If the way there is going to restrict my freedom, if the way there is going to force me to suppress my passions or suppress my identity, then I don't want it. It's like you're picking your difficult. It's going to be difficult to find another way there, but it's also going to be difficult to choose the quote unquote easy way that makes you stifle who you truly are. That's not really easy. I feel like people might give you advice like, you should do this. It's just the easy way to do it. And it's like, no, that's not easy because I can't be myself. It's actually very difficult for me to be inauthentic. Like, I can't do that. So even if it takes longer, even if you have to take more time searching for alternative routes, it's like you'd rather do that and get your blessings later than lock into something that you know feels inauthentic. So you're stubbornly, it's like the life seems to be presenting you different ways you could move towards your goal, and you're stubbornly saying like, no, that doesn't feel aligned. No, that doesn't feel authentic. Because you know that you wouldn't have to betray yourself. That doesn't make sense. Betray yourself to fulfill your personal story? To fulfill your purpose? No, like I'm gonna wait until I find a path that feels free to me, where I can be free, where I can be myself. There's some things that are not negotiable for you. It's like the devil in reverse really feels, it's like a refusal to compromise with your soul's desires or compromise with your divine path. And I'm also hearing I've been shown. So some of you, you've been shown in dreams and visions what is meant for you, and you're not going to settle. So there's a couple different ways I can interpret this. For some of you, I think it's you're freeing yourself from that restrictive energy. For others of you, it's like, I'm patiently waiting until I find my path that I don't have to restrict myself in the first place. And that's worth the wait. But committing to that freedom is your journey to this union. On your person's end, when I saw the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I got the feeling that at the beginning of your person's journey, there's a sense that they're kind of going the wrong way. Like you're supposed to meet them here and they're going this way. So they could be engaging in some things that are outside of their soul's plan, which is their free will, okay? It's not like that's bad or something. But when it comes to your plans, when it comes to their plans, and I also think when it comes to what feels the most aligned and fulfilling for them, in that sense, they are quote unquote going the wrong way. So, committing to something, engaging in something that is out of alignment for them. And they could be doing this for quite some time. I'm hearing before they meet you, they could be doing this for quite some time. For some of you, this might be a past energy, like you've already met this person and you know that in the past they were doing something out of alignment. And with the Seven of Wands in reverse, I can see that the reason for that is because your person had this deep-seated belief that things must be hard, that life must be hard. That's just it. Like things have to be hard. They could have grown up in an environment where there was a lot of hardship, or I think like many of us have grown up in a society that says like, you must suffer to be worthy of good things, or you have to struggle really, really hard to get what you want. Like, almost feels like if it's easy, then there's something wrong. It means that we're being lazy, or, it's, for some reason, they're attached to the struggle of it, attached to the difficulty of it. Subconsciously, they feel like things have to be difficult, and so they manifest that over and over again. And I also think that they're coming from a journey with a lot of self-suppression and restraint. I do feel a bit sad when I'm reading these energies, because I see you on your end, it's like you seem to be really committed to your freedom. And then we see your person who's almost like willingly suppressing themselves or willingly trapping themselves because they think that they have to. They think that it has to be hard. They think that this is how they will get the success that they want, that this is how they will get the sense of worthiness that they want if they choose a difficult path. But it almost becomes like choosing struggle for the sake of choosing struggle. I think that their journey to union with you is breaking this cycle. And whenever we get stuck in a cycle like this, there is some part of us, can be like a twisted part of us that thinks it's helping. So their ego might have some like positive associations with struggle. Like it means I'm taking care of people. It means I'm responsible. It means I'm resilient. It means I can handle a lot. It means I'm reliable. Somewhere along the line, and it could even go back to like early years, childhood for your person, but I would bet that at some point they received positive reinforcement after a struggle. And so that meaning was sort of engraved. And they feel like it's like this struggling to prove their worth, or just, feeling like they have to take the hard way. Sorry if I'm sounding like a broken record right now, but their journey to union is coming out of that. I think that there's definitely kind of two stages to this union. One is where you meet each other. So you meet each other, you go through a journey together, and then you come into like your soul union. I do sense a wariness. For both of you, I sense a wariness. Because when it comes to your chemistry, when it comes to the way you vibe together, things actually feel quite easy and effortless. And I would bet that you fall for each other or develop like feelings, develop fondness for each other very quickly. And this is sort of alarming to both of you, because if we look at your person's energy, not only do they feel like things have to be hard, I think they also feel like things need to take a lot of time. Like they might have some subconscious thing, like if you become successful really quickly, then it doesn't count. Like you cheated, or it's like not real in some way, or it's going to be taken away from you just as quickly as you got it. There's something about speed and ease that almost makes them feel like wary or uncomfortable. Like they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Whereas gaining something through long efforts, I think makes it feel more stable. Okay, it's kind of making sense now. Gaining something through long efforts makes it feel more real and more solid and more sustainable. So just the way that things are easy with you, or the way they're falling so quickly, I think it makes them kind of wary. And then I see something similar on your end, and I think it has to do with your chemistry and your attraction to each other. You may come from a history of having a really big, intense initial spark, and then it dies out quickly. And this could be in relationships or other ventures of your life, but just for one example, it would be like if you met someone, you both develop huge crushes on each other, like the chemistry is amazing, and then they ghost you in 3 weeks. Like that first flame is so big and then it just goes out. Or maybe you've seen a lot of people being like, oh my gosh, this is my passion. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. And then they give up in a month. I feel like you have some wariness about seeing people get really passionate about something and then just dropping it. And that maybe makes you feel not very safe. So when this chemistry builds really, really quickly, something in you is just on guard. That's what it feels like. Both of you, I think, have a little bit of fear that this could be, you don't want this to end up like an easy come, easy go situation. But I feel like the speed and the ease just comes from the authenticity of your bond. But past fears or past experiences could be making both of you just a little bit shaky. So I feel like you meet each other, there's this instant spark, this instant connection, but you're both kind of like, like wary. And that could cause things to drag along like that for a while. And I do also feel like there are stages in this journey where you'll go through like individual growth. We were kind of talking about this here with the Death card, but I do feel a stage in your journey where you go on your own individual journeys of growth and you come back together and you've evolved a lot and you're both really proud of each other. Things will grow really fast and then they'll be shaky for a while. Just because it's like you're both kind of scared of how fast things grew or how strong the initial chemistry was. But then that shakiness with time and with maturing will become stable. But yeah, I think this Seven of Cups in reverse indicates that moment where you get out of your head and your worries are put at ease and you realize that this initial spark and this initial passion was in fact not like the universe playing a joke on you or just like an easy come, easy go, or an initial spark that's bound to be blown out and not stand the test of time. But you are teaching your person that things can be easy and things can feel good. Like you don't have to suffer to earn goodness. You don't have to go through pain to earn pleasure. You can just have it. You can just have happiness. You can just have ease. You can just have nice things. I think that's what you're teaching them. And so I do want to be clear, like as you go through these journeys, it doesn't mean you're in separation this whole time. Like I think you are like knowing each other and in contact with each other, maybe sometimes more than others, sometimes less than others, but you're actively helping each other throughout this whole journey. And yeah, I think you're teaching them that like they can just have you, they can just have love without feeling like I must struggle to prove my worth. And I think you're gonna learn from them that like, first of all, you might be worried that they're a player or that they're kind of fickle, but I think you're learning that in that initial spark and that initial chemistry and that initial excitement doesn't have to be fake or fleeting. In fact, it can be a sign of something that's going to be very real in the long term. It's almost like you're afraid of that spark. Because you're like, as soon as that spark comes, you're like, well, let's see how long this lasts. You're learning that that spark can be sustained. Aw, it's like both of you are healing each other's wariness. And also, like, there's maybe certain cynical parts of you that have formed through past relationships. And you're healing those cynical parts in each other. And I do think this will ask a lot of vulnerability from both of you. There's a really deep level of intimacy that's being built here. And I'm hearing brick by brick. So it's not going to happen all at once. I definitely feel like there's 2 stages of your union, because like you literally like come together and then you build and work on your union together and shed fears as you build, and you're shedding ways in which you're hard on yourselves. Like as you build, you're teaching each other to be gentler with yourselves. And I think the gentleness that you want to give them teaches you the gentleness that you deserve, and vice versa. Like, because they just want to give you ease. They just want to give you softness. They just want to give you gentleness. And it's like, hello, like the lesson here is that you deserve that too. And I think that's kind of happening for both of you. And it is very sweet. Yeah, so that's everything that I'm seeing for you. We're gonna go into the extended now, where we see how close you currently are to this union energy, how close your person is to this union energy. We're gonna answer a yes or no question with regards to whether or not something is going to play out the way you imagine it to. So that will be up to you. And we're gonna see any time frames, places, signs and synchronicities, or actions to be taken that you should know about when it comes to the next steps in this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, I'm gonna have it linked down below. It's available on various platforms, so you can meet me wherever you want to meet me. I will be there. If you want to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, the memberships where you can watch these extendeds that we do here on this channel. You can also watch exclusive full-length pick a card readings. So I will have that link down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Smoky Quartz and the Accurate AF Tarot, this is going to be your reading. There's a couple things I want to share with you before we get into the cards, because they may be confirmations for someone. The first thing is that I was taking a little break in between group 2's reading and yours, and someone just kind of randomly crossed my mind, and then I opened the Instagram app, and that person's new post and story was like the first thing that popped up on my feed. And this was surprising to me because this person doesn't really post that often. So it did feel like a synchronicity. And I just wondered if that happens to any of my group number 3s. Like you're thinking about this person and then they text you right in that moment, or you're thinking about them and then they post something right in that moment. Maybe that's something you want to look out for moving forward, because that kind of synchronicity could start to happen to you. And then the other thing was something about you changing a profile picture. So maybe like your guides are saying it's time for you to change your picture, maybe something that's more accurate to the version of you that you are now. Or if you changed your picture recently, maybe this person likes it. I don't know. But those were the things that came up that I thought could be signs for someone. So let's get into it now. Here is the breakdown of the reading we're going to do today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. In this reading here, we are going to start with a little energy check to make sure it's your group. We are going to get some personalized messages. So there will be a message for those of you who have met your person in the 3D and a message for those of you who haven't. If you're not sure, I would recommend listening to both of these messages to see which one resonates for you. Of course, regardless of your current situation, you're welcome to stick around for both messages. They may both have something for you, but if you want to skip one of these, then there will be timestamps to do that. Then we're going to get into your actual journey. So we're going to lay out some cards here to represent your journey to them, some cards here to represent their journey to you, and we can sort of compare your timelines, see how they interact with each other, and then the cards that we lay out in the middle will represent your union. So that's going to be the reading here. Then in the extended, we are going to see how close are you at the time that you're watching to union energy with your person. How close are they to union energy? Then we're going to answer a yes or no question pertaining to whether or not something will play out how you're imagining. So we will see yes or no answer and why. We'll also see how this answer could change if you want to change it. And then finally, any time frames, places, signs and synchronicities, actions to be taken, things like that. Anything you need to know about the next steps in this connection. So that's going to be the extended. There will be options for a one-time purchase or for a monthly membership where you would have access to all the extendeds that go up every month. If you are considering a membership option, I would just ask that you carefully read the description of the different membership levels so you know exactly what you are getting. But I'm very grateful to everyone who considers that option, and I'm very grateful to everyone who is here watching this right now. Thank you so much for being here. And now let's get into the reading. I'm also having this visual of you being above the clouds. So this could be literal for some of you, like you could be in an airplane and you're above the clouds. But more metaphorically, I think this could be about having a higher perspective and being above your daily problems. So you could be entering a state of mind where you're kind of transcending your daily problems and you're able to look at the bigger picture. Okay? And by the way, the clouds that I'm envisioning are the nice kind. Like the white and fluffy and cute kind. Yeah. Not the ominous kind. Anyway, so let's get started with your energy check. Our first card is Honeymoon. Oh, that's kind of funny because that's kind of like the clouds I was imagining. So there's another instance of me thinking about something and then it appears. That's going to be a pretty frequent synchronicity for you, group number 3, if it isn't already. Like thinking of something and then it appears. It could literally be like you're talking with a friend about something and then your person texts you about that same thing. Or like I said before, you're just thinking of them and they send you a message, or you're thinking of them and you see their name somewhere. That's going to happen a lot. I feel like you're also going to see their birthday numbers. So like, I don't know, if their birthday's August 1st, then you might see like 8-1 or 1-8 everywhere you go. Anyway, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. We have the King of Wands. 555 as I'm holding this up. And I just heard be my guest. I think this is from your spirit guides. They are not granting you, reminding you of your freedom. That's an important distinction. You're not being granted a freedom by your spirit guides. You're being reminded that you already have this freedom. You are free to make any changes in your life that you want. And something that they're really warning you about is if you're in a situation that you don't like, be careful about how you frame it. If you're like, oh, I guess I'm just meant to experience this hardship, or like, oh, I guess the universe is just testing me. Like, be careful about framing it in a way where you are submitting to the difficulty or just seeing it as inevitable, because your guides are telling you your situation is more flexible than you think it is. You have more power to change it. And if you don't like it, you absolutely can change it. We have square, a challenging situation and a mountain to climb. Okay, I'm thinking of The Climb by Miley Cyrus right away. And then we have celestial guidance with the number 22. 22 or repeating twos could be important to someone as well. Also, a period of 3 months or a period of a week, because I'm thinking of square being a quarter, and like 3 months is a quarter of a year, a week is kind of a quarter of a month. Could even be 6 hours because that's a quarter of a day. But anyway, let's get into it. I would say that you and your person, how do I say this? I feel like you have a lot of fun together. And for the most part, you can spend really enjoyable, laid back time together. But there's some area in which you butt heads. It could be that both of you, the reason I'm struggling to put it into words is because at face value, it seemed like a sort of contradictory energy because I was getting free spirit and stubborn at the same time. And I think what it could be is that both of you are stubborn about your freedom. Like you don't want restrictions placed on you, or you want to be able to do things in your own way. I also feel like both of you could be really ambitious. Like you have really big goals and dreams. And so this square energy, because it can talk about tension or conflict, it could be that sometimes you kind of butt heads with your personalities, or that sometimes your big goals and dreams for the future seem incompatible. And it's like we have a great time together until it's time to address these things because there's no obvious solution. So when it comes to your desires, your goals, the direction you want to take your life, it could even be like your creative direction. When it comes to these things, and when we have to address them, I feel like that's where the tension comes into the connection. But if you were just hanging out as people, it's like your compatibility is amazing. So something to do with like your long-term desires or your life direction maybe. And I feel like neither of you are the type to settle or compromise when it comes to your life's vision. So it's like, what do we do? And maybe this is not an answer that will come to you right away. With celestial guidance here, you've maybe sought out advice from your spiritual team, or this is something you frequently seek out advice for in readings. There could be, it's like in the present moment, everything is great, but there's a little bit of an unsettled energy when it comes to the future. And yeah, something that's coming through is that the solution is not obvious. And so sometimes you may feel like you need guidance from a higher power, or you just need to wait and see what your higher self says. And I do feel like there's a part of you that tries to not worry about whatever this conflict is, because it's like there's nothing we can do. Let's just enjoy the moment now. But there is maybe a part of you that worries about the future, that is afraid of the unknowns. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what worrying is. Afraid of the unknowns of the future. So we are going to pull some cards for your personalized messages. So a card for those of you who do know your person. A card for those of you who don't know your person in the 3D. So I'm going to start with this one. Those of you who have met your person in the 3D, like you know who this is. Like I said in the intro, you are welcome to stay for both messages, but if you want to skip this one, this will be the timestamp to do that. There will also be a clickable one down below. So for my group number 3s who have met your person in the 3D, we have strength. Okay, strength to me personally, and you might know this if you watch my readings, thank you by the way if you do, it gives bestie energy, especially on a soul level. Now this could be a romantic connection, it definitely can be, but it does seem like there is a really strong friendship here, and that your friendship is the most important thing to you. And I would bet that your souls are friends. Like, I don't think that this is your first lifetime together, and I do feel that when you incarnate together in some way, you are companions. And I think you have also gone through some pretty tough incarnations together, which has strengthened your bond. I'm getting this visual of you fighting a battle side by side. Maybe that's something literal that happened in a past life. But there's a feeling of we've been through thick and thin. Nothing can take us apart. And this bond is definitely something you've cultivated in past lives. It could even be something that you've cultivated in this lifetime. Like maybe you have been through a lot of ups and downs and trying times with this person. But what I can say is it's going to take more than a little conflict to bring you apart. You seem to stick together through rain or shine. But it's just that whatever you're dealing with now, maybe it's unprecedented or it's just particularly confusing or a tricky thing to figure out. But I do sense a strong friendship and a strong loyalty between the two of you. We're gonna roll a die. We have Neptune. Yeah, this gives the feeling of a long connection. So even if you've met this person recently, your souls have known each other for a very long time. And I say that because Neptune is an outer planet that moves slowly. It's not one of those planets that changes signs like every few days or few weeks. So it feels like a long-lasting bond that has definitely grown and changed over time. Like it's giving the feeling that you've seen each other through different seasons of life. And I would bet that you will continue to do so. And sort of, it's an ongoing learning process as both of you evolve. You fall in love with each other again and again, and you learn how to best support each other again and again. That's not something that's static. It changes through the different eras of your life. There may be some times where this bond feels rock solid and other times where it feels a bit shaky, but the love is always there and the loyalty is always there. You and your person have maybe been through something that you haven't been through with anyone else. Like you have a shared unique experience that gives you a special bond. Again, that could be in this lifetime or in a past one, probably both. But I feel like your souls are very close and your souls guide each other. And even if, let's say, one day in this lifetime you went separate ways, I feel like your souls would continue to guide each other and look out for each other, because that's just the loyalty you have. Your souls would not be separated by something that happens between your human avatars in this lifetime, because this is just one of many. Okay, so let's look at the message for those of you who have not met this person in the 3D yet. You don't know exactly who this person is yet. If you want to skip this one, this is the timestamp to do so, and there will be a clickable one down below. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay, I want to say to you, if you are thinking like, I don't know who this person is, but I have a feeling, this is confirming that feeling, the Queen of Cups. If you are listening to this message just because you're not 100% sure, but you have a hunch of who your person is, this Queen of Cups is confirming that. I would also say that even if you haven't met in the 3D, you are very well acquainted in the spiritual realm. I don't know if you stuck around and listened to this message, but I was talking about how your souls are very close. Like your souls are friends with each other. So even if you haven't met yet in this particular incarnation, you're still connected. Like your higher selves are still together and working on this lifetime together and helping each other's growth. Doesn't matter if your human avatars are like in physical contact or not. That's just the nature of the bond that you have. And so even if you haven't met them yet, throughout your life, their higher self has been helping you. Their higher self has been giving you strength, and vice versa. There's a strong loyalty between your souls, and you've taken on different roles for each other in different lifetimes, but I feel like it's always a positive relationship, and like there's a lot of fondness there. I'm smelling a perfume and it's mine. I'm not wearing it right now, but I recognize it as one that I own, and it's one of my favorites. Why is that coming through? Maybe you just like this person's fragrance, or they like your fragrance. We have Saturn. Okay. You're striking a good balance between spirituality and practicality. I think that you can feel this connection in the 5D without getting lost in the 5D. You can feel the 5D love and experience benefits from this connection while also remaining grounded in the 3D. So what I mean by that is, it doesn't seem like you're using, like for example, using the connection as an escape, or you know, running away to the 5D to escape a 3D situation that is not favorable. I'm going back to, there is like the message of 555, King of Wands, square. That message from your guides is coming through again, to be careful of the way you frame challenges or situations that you don't like. I feel like you're not meant to just submit to them and say, oh, like, I guess this isn't meant to work out, or I guess this is just meant to be hard. You have more power to change things than you think. And maybe that's somehow pertaining to this connection, or pertaining to manifesting a desired outcome. I think that this connection has helped you. It's funny because if you haven't met them in the 3D, then it makes sense that this is primarily like a spiritual bond that you're experiencing. But I actually feel that it's helped you to be grounded even more, and helped you to mature, and helped you to build a relationship with the practical side of you. I guess sometimes we might be concerned, like, if I lean so much into a soul bond that's not on the physical plane, am I going to, you know, lose touch with the 3D reality? And I feel like it's been exactly the opposite for you. It makes you feel more grounded in the 3D reality. I also think that this connection has really opened up your heart and increased your capacity for like loving others unconditionally, and feeling connected to everyone, and feeling compassion for everyone. They've really opened up your capacity for love and compassion. That's beautiful. Okay, so this concludes the personalized messages. We're gonna go into your actual journeys to each other now. So the deck that you chose, the Accurate AF Tarot, this is gonna represent your timeline. And then for your person's timeline, we have the Star Child Tarot Akashic Edition. And I am going to be taking reversals for this part. So we're starting with your timeline. What does your journey to union look like? We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. We have the Dawn of Wands in the upright. This is the Page of Wands. This is an interesting message. We have, okay, 3 just came out at the same time. We have the Ace of Wands in the upright, the 5 of Pentacles in the upright, and oh, Queen of Cups. So there's a repetition. Queen of Cups in the upright. I'm sort of gonna take these as one energy. Hopefully it's not too crowded. And now we will pull some cards for your person's journey. So their journey starts with Starseed, which I believe is the Fool card in this deck. That just fell out very effortlessly. And it's the 6 of Wands. Okay, I'm gonna make a mental note at how easily that fell out. Oop. And we have the 10 of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, so for the energy representing your union, we're gonna take both of your bottom of the deck cards, and then we're gonna pull one more card to sort of tie it all together. So for you, we have the 7 of Swords. For your person, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And for our final card to tie it all together, we have 2. The Magician in reverse and the 3 of Cups in the upright. Okay, so I'm going to start with your journey. And I'm looking at the artwork of these 2 cards, and I'm imagining that, you know, because this came out in the reverse, it's like the cup is spilling out. So I'm seeing this cup spilling out, and then this represents you. It's like you dove into the water to retrieve what spilled out, but then at the bottom of the water, you found a treasure that had been missing for a long time. It feels like you retrieved part of yourself. There was a passion or a creative spark that you retrieved. With the Ace of Cups in reverse, there's a feeling of something in your life not going how you'd hoped. And it feels like some kind of rejection or ending. It does feel like something in the past as well, or it could be something that you're currently going through, but it's the feeling of, for example, a breakup, not getting a job, not getting chosen for something, losing an opportunity. Something was lost, or there was a sort of a rejection. And at first, you felt like you wanted to get this thing back. But then in your search to get it back, you found something even more valuable. And that was a piece of yourself that you had lost connection with for a long time. And it really does feel like a creative spark coming back. So it's like you lost something that you thought you needed, but then this loss actually led you to rediscovering your purpose and rediscovering something that really lit up your heart. And I just love how on this artwork, the person is holding it up proudly. And then we had the Ace of Wands come out after this in the upright. So there's a complete rebirth of your creativity and of your zest for life after this loss. And what maybe once felt like a heartbreak now feels like a liberation. And it's almost like I see you at first, you're having difficulty accepting what was lost, but then realizing that you found something even greater in the process, and realizing that you wouldn't have wanted things to turn out any other way. Because of this piece you were able to retrieve. That's like priceless. I'm hearing you can't put a price on that. And something else that was coming through with the Ace of Wands and the Five of Pentacles is that for many of you, part of this journey will involve choosing your creativity or choosing your freedom or choosing to do what truly inspires you and lights you up over money. And that's not to say that you won't get money, but you're valuing creativity and freedom and authenticity over like material wealth or material security. If you had to choose one or the other, you're going to choose this Ace of Wands every time. You're going to choose your freedom every time. The promise of material anything, and I'm also hearing the illusion of security, will never be a good enough price to sell your creativity or sell your authenticity. You're choosing yourself. Even if, I was gonna say, even if it doesn't make practical sense, but I think the way you see it, and this is the right way to look at it, is that following your intuition is actually the practical thing to do. It's the right thing to do because you're choosing your well-being. You're choosing your joy. You're choosing your most authentic expression. Like that's always going to be the right thing to do. As I'm talking about this energy, it does feel like, and maybe this is just an example and you can apply your own situation to this, but it feels like someone getting offered a job that has like really good pay, but they can't create anything original, or they just have to do what someone else tells them, and that doesn't sit right with them. And they're like, no, I'd rather have less money and be able to do whatever I want. I'd rather have less stability in my life and be able to travel whenever I want and be able to work remotely and have time for my creative projects than be locked into this schedule that is stable and predictable, but then takes away so much freedom. And I feel like what we're seeing here is you choosing the freedom over the security in this particular area of your life. And this is leading you into the union. On your person's side, we have Starseed, and then we have the Six of Wands, which fell out really effortlessly. So this is the Fool card, and with these two cards together, I'm hearing beginner's luck. Okay, so your person could have become really successful in a particular venture. And I'm not saying that they didn't deserve it, but it does seem like beginner's luck was a big part of it. And just like the blind faith that they had in themselves really helped to propel them forward. And also them just not giving a shit. It seems like they dove headfirst into a venture, not caring if they looked dumb, not caring if they looked cringe, not caring if they failed, not caring what anyone thought of them. like the Fool. They just dove into it. And there's something so pure about the energy they went into it with that made them very successful very fast. Or maybe this is about to happen for them. And there's also a message here about, it's like the second they just embraced that they're weird, different, the second they embrace they're a black sheep and use that to their advantage, they become very, very successful. I do feel like for many of you, this has already happened for your person. It could be something that you'll see unfolding for them now, but they are gaining a lot of success. And I would bet that your person in some way is like a recognized figure, whether that's just in their particular niche or maybe on a larger scale. They have a lot of admirers, they're more like well-known. I feel like I'm saying a lot of words wrong and then I have to correct myself. So I apologize for that, but I don't know, maybe that's a sign for somebody. Yeah, and this is definitely, I mean, you too, but your person is definitely someone who has like a lot of admirers, a lot of people look up to them. Maybe a lot of people want to be like them, or they're just a very attractive person. And this is going to lead to them having a lot of material wealth. I feel like their journey to material abundance and material security happens like really quickly. So this could even be something that happened for them at quite a young age. Oh, okay. I have to like draw it because I feel like you are having kind of a later bloom in your success, like this. And then it seems like your person peaks quickly. And then when they're like, I'm losing steam, then they get picked up in your wave like that. So you work together. Like they have this initial burst of success in the beginning, and then maybe it's hard to maintain on their own, but then you like are building really slowly. You know, it may be hard at first, but you're not settling and you're not giving up. You build slowly and really steadily, and then you can like help them pick up, and then you move forward together. I feel like I made that drawing kind of messy, but this is giving the vibe of manifesting abundance together and building a successful and materially wealthy life together. And, you know, that can happen in any type of connection, right? It can be like romantic partners who are thriving together. Maybe they're collaborating or building a business, or it could just be that you are friends or you are business partners or something like that. But what I will say with your union energy, like having the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Magician in reverse, the Seven of Swords in the upright, I feel like in the end, things might not turn out how you envisioned them. And I don't know, like if this is about your connection itself or about the life that you create together. Because I do feel like there's a lot of like the building of your lives is overlapping. Like, yes, you are building your individual lives, but you're also building something really big together. I'm hearing that sort of makes you forever linked. Okay? Even if one day you were to go separate ways with this person, you would be forever linked because of something you built together. Like maybe you built a business with them, or maybe you had children with them or something. Like you're always going to have a tie to this person no matter what happens. But I feel like things are going to turn out maybe differently from what you envisioned at the start. That doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Maybe for some of you it's a good thing. Because the Seven of Swords, and this came out in someone else's reading too, and it had the feeling of things turned out differently from what I thought. With the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Magician in reverse, it feels like I thought I was seeing signs of this, but the signs were actually trying to tell me something else. And I'm pairing this with, there's been this message a few times in your reading of like, you can always change things. So I don't know, like, if you've been getting signs and messages that like something's not going to work out or you're not meant to have something, because your guides kept saying like, you know, you can always change things. If you receive a message you don't like, you can change your trajectory, or you can not claim that message. If someone tells you, I'm imagining a teacher being like, you're never gonna be successful. And then you're like, you feel fueled to prove that teacher wrong, you know, like some kind of, and then it feels like a movie, you know, and then everybody clapped. Like, it could be something like that, where throughout your life you would receive signs or messages that something wasn't going to work out, because the Wheel of Fortune's like, it feels like, oh, it's not in the cards for me. The Magician feels like I'm not powerful enough to manifest this. And the Seven of Swords is like, that's being proven wrong. So you could be proving a lot of people wrong together. I don't know if this is the case for you. I kind of hope not. But if you've been told throughout your life, like, what you want is like, it's not gonna happen, or like, that's a dumb idea, or just anything like that, I feel like you're gonna prove a lot of people wrong. Maybe your person has been through that as well. And there could also be even people who said that it wouldn't work out between the two of you. Man, I really hope this is not the case. But that's just how it's coming through. I don't know, like friends and family being like, it's not gonna last, you know, whatever. I feel like you're proving people wrong. You could even be proving yourselves wrong. I also feel like there's gonna be some things when you reach the end of this journey, you're like, oh, that's what the sign was trying to tell me. It wasn't, like, that's happened to me with readings before, where I'll do a reading for myself and I think the card is trying to tell me something, but once I live out the experience, I'm like, oh, that's what that card meant. So there could be a lot of moments like that once you come into union with this person. I do just have to say this message because it's here. Feel free to not claim it. But if this is a romantic interest, you may reach this point in your journey together and decide that you want to be friends instead of romantic lovers. You do not have to claim that if that doesn't resonate for you, but I just have to mention it because we have all these cards of like, things aren't turning out the way I thought, and then the Three of Cups is a friendship card. So it may be for some of you, maybe it's a really small some of you, that it's like, oh, we're actually better as friends. Or it could be like, maybe it's better that we're not in business together because it's interfering with our friendship, and our friendship is the most important thing. But then, of course, like the legacy that you built together is still there. I don't know, there may be certain choices that you make in your relationship to prioritize your friendship, because that was even coming out earlier in your reading, that you may have other roles in each other's lives, like you may be lovers, you may be business partners, whatever, but like your friendship is the most important thing. So there may be some era of your relationship that doesn't last forever because the friendship is more important. Take it if it resonates or don't, but I have to say what is present here. But in any case, I do think there will be surprises in your future with this person. And I also think like there are going to be some things that aren't revealed to you. No matter how many readings you watch, there's just going to be some things that are not ready to be known. And looking back, you will be able to see what all the signs meant. But I think just the nature of this journey is that some things aren't meant to be known. What I can say for sure is that your friendship stays strong, your loyalty to each other stays strong, you are building something together that will last forever. That legacy will last forever. It will leave a lasting mark. And maybe I already said this. I feel like you will always be guides for each other in the spirit realm, no matter what happens. So we are going to move into the extended now, and we're going to see how close you are to coming into union with your person. We're going to see how close they are as well. We are going to answer a yes or no question with regards to whether or not a certain thing is going to be playing out how you imagine. We will give the yes or no answer, including the reason why and how that could be changed if you want to change it. Then we're also going to see specific time frames, places, signs and synchronicities, actions to be taken, anything that you need to know about the next steps in this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, that's going to be linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. It will be available on a few different platforms, so I will meet you wherever you want to meet me. And if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my memberships where you can watch the extended readings that we do here on this channel. You can also watch exclusive full-length pick-a-card readings. So those will be linked down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your spirit guides, your higher selves, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the Rutilated Quartz and the New Moon Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So here is the breakdown of the reading we're doing today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. Here in this main reading, we are going to start off with an energy check to make sure that this is your group. We are going to get some personalized messages as well. So there's going to be a message for those of you who have met your person in the 3D already, and a message for those of you who haven't met them in the 3D yet. If you are not sure whether or not you've met this person yet, I would recommend listening to both of these messages to see which one resonates with you more. But regardless of your situation, you are very welcome to stick around and listen to both. They both may have something for you. And then we are going to get into the actual timeline of your journeys. So we're going to lay out your cards here to represent your journey to them, their cards here to represent their journey to you, and we can sort of compare your two timelines and see how they interact with each other. And then the cards that we lay out in the middle will represent your union. So that's going to be our main reading. In the extended, we are going to see how close are you at the time that you're watching this to union energy with your person. How close is your person to union energy? Then we are going to answer a yes or no question with regards to whether a certain aspect of this journey is going to play out how you are imagining it. So we will see the yes or no answer, including the reason why, and also how you could change it if that's something you want to do. And finally, we will see significant time frames, places, signs and synchronicities, that's the word, actions to be taken, etc. Anything else you need to know about the next steps moving forward in this connection. So for this extended, it's going to be available on a few different platforms, and there is the option for a one-time purchase or a monthly membership, which gives you access to all of the extendeds every month. If you are considering a membership option, I would just ask that you carefully read the description of the different membership levels so you know exactly what you're getting. But I'm very grateful to anyone who considers that option, and I'm very grateful to everyone who is here watching this right now. Thank you so much for being here. And without further ado, let's get into your reading, starting with your energy check. Your first card is let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Right away, this is giving an overthinking energy. So if you have, not even if you have been overthinking recently, if in general you are the overthinking type and you find yourself overthinking a lot about this connection, then you may have found your group. We have the, how many cups is that? 8? Oh, there's literally the number 8 right there, but I didn't see it. The 8 of Cups. Interesting. Okay, this is another sign that you may have found your group. I feel like some of you have been through periods of walking away from or moving on from this connection, not necessarily because of something your person did or said, but just because the overthinking was too much. Like it was getting to be too stressful for you. And so you felt that maybe it was better to detach. We have Chiron, hurt and heal. Yeah, the more we lay out the cards, this is definitely my group who is prone to overthinking. And I need you to not, this is easier said than done. I need you to not judge yourself for your tendency to overthink or beat yourself up. Because if you do struggle with letting go of control and allowing things to just unfold, if you struggle with like being okay with not knowing exactly how and when things are going to turn out, it does seem to be from past wounds. We also have Scorpio, which that also feels like a power struggle, a struggle for control. Some of you may have Chiron in Scorpio. We also have Saturn in Pisces coming through here, which I know is really specific, but these placements could be confirmation for someone. Could also be Saturn in Scorpio or Chiron in Pisces. You and your person could both have significant water sign placements, or you could have significant placements in the same element. By the way, if you hear that sound, Yumi's licking my hand right now, which maybe is supposed to be like a soothing gesture. Maybe she can sense that my group number 4s are going through it. I have to tell you that your healing from control issues, yes, it is related to this connection, but in a way, it's also kind of independent from it, in the sense that you might be framing this. Okay, wait, I need to formulate this. I'm seeing like you have this problem with overthinking that you want to heal from, or being very attached to an outcome to the point that it stresses you out, and you're trying to heal from this. But healing from this has nothing to do with whether or not you choose to stay in this connection or choose to walk away from it. And I feel like sometimes your mind might frame it as like, okay, I let go of the connection, so that means I'm healing. Or like, I'm choosing to stay in the connection, so that means I'm healing. And whatever decision you make is okay, but it's not like you make a choice about this person or you make a choice about this connection and then you're magically healed, if that makes sense. And I also want to say that there is no right or wrong answer, and there's nothing you could choose in this journey that is like the quote unquote more healed option. Like choosing to walk away doesn't mean inherently that you're more healed, and choosing to stay doesn't inherently mean that you're more healed. So it might be helpful to try to heal this overthinking or heal these control issues outside of the context of this connection, because you're not necessarily healing them through a choice you make about this person. And I feel like sometimes that might be conflated. It's not like they're entirely separate, because if you are struggling with overthinking and like control issues and being attached to an outcome, of course that's going to affect how you show up in this connection, but it's not like they're intrinsically linked and like one and the same. I really hope this is making sense. They're overlapping, but they're not exactly the same thing. I do think in general that this connection has been brought into your life for opportunities to heal. This connection maybe has made you aware of wounds that exist. Not like it's like throwing salt in your wounds, but brings them to light because you're ready to heal them. Another thing you need to know is that your connection with this person will never bring you something that you're not ready for. So when they appeared in your life, which some of you maybe haven't met this person in the 3D yet, but when their essence, when their energy appeared in your life, it's because you were ready for them. And when these wounds surface, it's because you're ready to heal them. And I do think that there are difficult stages in this connection, but it has more to do with like your internal healing journey, if that makes sense. This is a deep one. They bring out deep emotions in you. All right, so we're gonna get into the personalized messages. Okay, it was fate that this person came into your life, but the relationship you choose to have with them is your free will. I like already said this, I just want to maybe reiterate it, that this isn't like a test of are you supposed to choose them or are you supposed to move on? It's actually whatever you want to do is possible, and whatever you want to do, like following your heart, is always going to be the right answer. And no entity, like a spirit guide or a teacher or anything, can tell you what that is. They're only here to guide you. Okay, they're showing me an example. It's like if you were in a writing class or a music composition class. Your teacher's job isn't to tell you what to compose. That kind of defeats the purpose. You are meant to compose from your heart, and your teacher's job is to guide you into composing something that feels aligned. They don't have some secret answer about this connection that they're keeping from you. Your guides and teachers are just trying to guide you to pull the answer out of your own self. 1111 as I'm saying that. And whatever you choose, they will support. Whatever you choose to compose, whatever work you choose to create in this lifetime, they will support it. Okay. Personalized messages. A message for those of you who have met this person in the 3D, and a message for those of you who haven't. So I'm going to start with the message for those of you who have. Like I mentioned in the intro, you are very welcome to stick around for both of these, but if you want to skip this one, this will be the timestamp to do so, and there will also be a clickable one down below. So for those of you who have met this person in the 3D, we have the 10 of Pentacles. I'm getting the feeling, and it makes sense because otherwise you probably wouldn't be watching this, your 3D connection has not gone all the way, in the sense of it hasn't reached the extent that you have wanted it to. And I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe the progress hasn't been what you've wanted, but also it hasn't reached its full 3D potential. So the growth has reached a point that's you're maybe not satisfied with yet. And your guides want to affirm to you that the potential is still more. It's not like, oh, this is as far as you can go. There is still more that you can experience with this person. You can go all the way, so to speak, in the sense of what you desire. Something really weird that's happening right now is like, my camera will put squares around whatever it's focusing on. And right now it's like frantically, the squares like bouncing between all of these coins. It's weird. It's like it doesn't know what to focus on. For some of you, this could be your experience in the physical realm, like different goals that you're chasing. And you're like, oh, I should do this. I should do that. I should do that. And that's probably also a symptom of your overthinking. A lot of it comes down to that. Group number 4, you're not scatterbrained. It's not like you're a scatterbrained, indecisive, all over the place kind of person. It feels more so like you're so worried about making the right choice. So you try to choose everything. It's not just being scattered. It's like a deeper anxiety about doing the right thing, picking the right thing. And I feel like your big lesson in this lifetime is about trusting yourself. Like actually whatever you choose becomes the right thing because you chose it. Honoring your choice is the right choice. I don't know, the way the focus was going all over the place, like, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? You might be the type of person who like pursues many different things. And let me be very clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like being multi-talented or having multiple interests. But sometimes I feel like it comes from a place of, is this the right one? Is this the right one? Like maybe looking to society or looking to some higher power and saying like, did I choose the right path? Is this the one you wanted me to do? And your guides are like, well, we want you to do what you want to do. And there may also be a message here about kind of scrambling to find the quote unquote right way to bring this person in when all you have to do is be yourself. We're gonna roll a die. We have the moon. That thing is still, it's kind of annoying me. Like, I don't like looking at the screen and seeing this little square going all over the place. I'm glad you guys can't see it, but I feel like the moon fits in well with that because the moon is the fastest changing celestial body. Like it has the fastest cycle of all of the celestial bodies we see, and it changes phases. It changes signs every few days. Like it's very quickly changing. I also feel like your moods surrounding this connection could change quite a bit from day to day. Like one day you feel positively about it, the next day you feel kind of hopeless about it. And you could also be kind of emotionally dependent on real or perceived shifts in your person's energy, like how they're talking to you or how they're showing up. Little things like that could create big emotional shifts. So for those of you who have not met your person in the 3D yet, if you want to skip this message, this is the timestamp to do that. There will also be a clickable one down below, but we have the King of Wands. Interesting. I feel like those of you who haven't met this person in the 3D yet are maybe having a better time or having an easier time. And it kind of makes sense because, like we spoke about in the previous part of your reading, it's like this person appears in your life when there are certain things that you are ready to heal. So when they enter your life, there are some tasks ahead in a way. There are some lessons to be learned. There are some things to heal. And that's when it gets serious. I feel like your souls are partners that learn together. And there are definitely things that you are teaching them as well. And when I say difficult, I don't mean this in the sense of like you're making each other's lives difficult, but it's like, imagine you are classmates as souls and you're like working together on a project with a high difficulty level because like your teachers know you can do it and you know that each other that you can do it. It's not always easy, and it's very okay to be frustrated. And I also want to say that it's not like this all the time. Like, your life isn't meant to be difficult lessons all the time. So just let me affirm that it would be very silly for this to last forever, and it absolutely won't. There's also going to be very easy times in this connection and very smooth sailing, walk in the park times. Just like how in a school year, like before finals, it's really difficult. And then maybe right before summer vacation, it's like really easy and you don't do anything. This is kind of how our lives go. If it's always hard, we don't want it. But if it's always easy, we also don't want it. I feel like the King of Wands is also reminding you of the freedom you have. If you haven't met this person in the 3D yet, I almost want to say you don't have to manifest them. Like, if you're like, I don't want to manifest a person that's here to teach me lessons. I don't want to manifest a person that is like, I don't want to do this healing stuff right now. Like, you can do that. If you haven't met this person yet and you don't want to, like, or if you don't want to at this juncture in your life, that is also very okay. I really feel throughout this reading, there's a lot of reminders from your spirit guides of your free will and that you can create of this life anything that you want. We have the number 11. For those of you who haven't met this person in the 3D yet, it seems like you could be really focused on your individual goals and dreams right now. And I like that. I don't really have much else to say. I just want to say keep doing that. And remember your freedom. I feel like this message goes beyond the connection and it's about your goals and dreams in general. And maybe it sounds cheesy for me to say, but you can create anything you want in this life. You can create anything you want in this world. And no one can decide what that is for you. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get into your timelines now. We're gonna use the deck that you chose, the New Moon Tarot for your timeline, and the Star Child Tarot Akashic Edition for your person's timeline. And we are gonna take reversals for this part. Group number 4's journey. We have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the Knight of Swords in the upright. Very interesting. For your person's timeline, we have the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. So you have it in reverse, they have it in the upright. And there's a repetition card in your timeline. So I feel like this is a point where like your timelines are interacting. There's also something about eclipse season coming through, which at the time that I'm filming this, we just went through some eclipses in September 2025. Ooh. Whoa, that's weird. So their card came out and hit this die, and then it changed to the south node. And I think that's very interesting because at the time that I'm filming this, we just had, I think it was partial, but it was a solar eclipse in Virgo. And the south node is currently in the sign of Virgo. So maybe you're watching this at a later time and the south node is somewhere else, but there could be like the movement of the north and south node, or certain eclipses could coincide with major events in this connection. You also could have some synastry with your nodes and their nodes. So for those of you who are interested in astrology, maybe check like if your nodes interact with their placements or their nodes interact with your placements. Again, I do feel like this is a fated connection, but you can choose how to proceed with it. So it's not like the whole story is written out for you, but crossing each other's paths is definitely fated. And you do have the potential to help each other realize some very big dreams, but it won't always be easy. But you bring, oh, interesting. I'm hearing like you would bring a lot of richness to each other's individual lives. And that might mean rich in a material sense. It might mean like you have an enriching life, but I'm just hearing the word richness. You color each other's lives with rich color, and you help each other access emotions and expressions that maybe would have been hard to access otherwise. If you or your person are creatives, this connection can make you create some crazy shit. Some really interesting and beautiful things and very revealing things. Things that reveal your own psyche to you and things that reveal the collective consciousness to you. That's pretty intense. The fact that this changed to a south node, that feels like a past life connection. And it does feel like there is good karma here. So it's like, this sounds so weird, but like difficult in a good way. I don't know, maybe like in a way that brings satisfaction, or in a way that makes you more robust. There's some weird words coming through for this group. There could be something with like someone's moon and someone's south node. Like I said, the south node is in Virgo right now, so maybe someone has a Virgo moon, but I don't know. Look at your moons and your nodes if you're interested in astrology and you're interested in your synastry. Ooh, we have the Ace of Wands in the upright, and I was just talking about creatives. Okay. Yeah, so maybe you or your person or both of you are creatives. We have the Ten of Swords in the upright. So for your union energy, I'm going to take both of your bottom of the deck cards, and then we're going to pull one last card to bring it all together. Your union energy is the High Priestess in the upright. Ah, this is freaking me out. Ooh, I have chills right now, and they're both in the upright. The High Priestess and Awakening. Oh my gosh. This is serious business, group number 4. There's a lot of rewards waiting for you. Like, maybe you're not aware This is giving me chills and it's making me emotional. I feel like you're not aware of how much you've served the collective. You have immensely served the collective, and your person has, why do I feel like I'm gonna cry? Your person has immensely served the collective, and your guides are so proud of you. And I also want to tell you that it is very ridiculous. I don't know why that's the word that's coming through, but like, to think about comparing your journeys or like comparing your impact on the collective, like, no. You're in this together. You have both impacted and served the collective in, I don't know how to translate that, but in irreplaceable ways, invaluable ways. For both of your energies are twos. You have the number 2, they have the number 20, which obviously reduces to 2. Repeating 2s could be a significant sign for you. Both of these are watery. Actually, Judgment is associated with the element of fire, but it's associated with Pluto, which feels like water to me. So we're gonna say these are both water. Going with the previous watery theme from the last part of your reading. You inspire your person a lot, and I feel like your connection is sacred to them. They don't really talk about it with other people because it's just so personal. It's like a deeply spiritual experience for them. And maybe this is the type of person who is not so open about their spiritual journey, or they'll only talk about it with like a select few people that they feel will understand. But they hold this connection close to their heart and they keep it sacred. There's something about them whispering. So maybe their higher self communicates with you in very subtle ways, like they kind of whisper to you. I'm hearing things like, I see, I know. It's like their higher self is validating that they've received your energy and they recognize your energy. This person recognizes your energy and recognizes like the spiritual bond in some capacity, I want to say. So I want to talk about, you guys both got the Knight of Pentacles, but yours is in reverse and theirs is in the upright. This does make me feel that they will move towards you at a time where you are not walking away from them, but maybe focusing on other things. We actually don't see it in this particular Seven of Pentacles, but we often see a plant, like someone's watching a plant grow. And I kind of feel like these cards together, it's you saying like, okay, I'm gonna not so much focus on this person right now, and I'm gonna tend to my garden. I'm gonna invest my energy in my goals. Kind of like what we were talking about here. We also, I don't know if, well, some of you might have skipped this part, but we were talking about like kind of jumping around and not knowing where to focus your energy. For some of you, for a lot of you, if you resonate with that, very soon through trial and error, I'm hearing, you're gonna realize where you want to pour your energy into. So out of all the things you're trying in your life, of all the goals you're working on, one of them is really gonna stick with you. And I feel like you're just gonna naturally and organically start prioritizing it. It may not be so much of a conscious decision of like, okay, we're gonna focus on this now, but it's naturally what happens when you let yourself gravitate towards what you gravitate towards. So I think that's an important piece of advice I could give you. Like if you wanna know what to focus on, just see what your body, I want to say, like, see what your body gravitates towards. See what you find yourself doing when you just let yourself be. So this leg of the journey for you definitely starts with like okay, you know, I've done some great healing in this connection. I don't feel called to overthink about it anymore. Oh, that makes me really happy. So you are healing from the overthinking. I don't feel called to overthink about this anymore. I feel like there's nothing I can gain from overthinking about it anymore. So I'm just gonna go over here and I'm gonna tend to my garden. I'm gonna invest my energy into something that I'm really gravitating towards right now. What's so beautiful about this is like you're pouring your energy into something that gives you intrinsic motivation. You just love doing it for the sake of the thing itself, not because of what you think it can give you. The process is just very enjoyable for you. And that, I want to say that creates a vacuum. And I saw 3333. When you move this way, it creates a vacuum. And I'm seeing like, when, you know, like sometimes when you like, you're in a room with two doors and you open one door and then the other one closes because it creates a vacuum, or like you close a door and another one opens. Does that ever happen to you? It happens to me in my childhood home sometimes. Because there's like the door to the garage and the door to the house and they like, I don't know, they like pull on each other. So something you're doing is pulling their door open, and you moving towards this thing and investing your energy in it pulls them towards you. Ace of Wands can talk about creativity like we spoke about. I've also seen it indicate someone like shooting their shot or making a move. So, or bringing some kind of lighthearted offer. So this could indicate your person shooting their shot towards you, making a move towards you. A lighthearted offer could be something like inviting you to hang out. I feel like that's very often what it is. No pressure, just like you wanna, I don't know, go for coffee, go for drinks, go for lunch, whatever. you know what that means. I don't have to tell you what it means to invite someone to hang out, but I'm just giving examples. And the Ace of Wands can also indicate like a physical attraction, a physical chemistry. Whatever you're doing here maybe is very interesting to your person. If this is like a platonic thing, I think whatever you're doing here is very interesting to your person. If it's a romantic connection, it may kind of be a turn on for them. Like whether that's just seeing you in your element or seeing you flex your skills or your talents, or just being dedicated to something that makes you attractive to them. And ironically, this is a point where you're not even trying to be attractive to them because you're facing this way. You're focused on this thing. You're just like tending to your garden and they're like, oh, you look so good tending to your garden. And you're like, what? I couldn't hear you. I was planting, I want to say begonia, and I don't even know what that is, but I know it's a kind of flower. Let's see what's going on with the begonias. Oh, Yumi. What is the spiritual meaning of begonia? Oh, they're so pretty. Oh, wow. Spiritually, begonia symbolize psychic balance, transformation, and acceptance of oneself. They are also associated with gratitude, protection from negative energies, and fostering inner peace. Some traditions even see them as symbols of equality and good fortune. That word equality is jumping out at me because your guides said very strongly that you should not compare your journeys. Like, your journeys are not the same, but they are equal. Anyway, you're doing something that your person likes. They're seeing you in your element and they're like, I like that. I'm attracted to that. And moving towards you. And there's kind of a push and pull going on because I feel like, what's happening? Are you not answering right away? Because they're making a move towards you, and then you have them in their head. You have them overthinking, and then you move towards them. So there's a little push and pull going on. They move towards you. You maybe don't, I don't know why you don't respond right away, but apparently you don't. And then they maybe kind of overthink, freak out a bit, run away, then you pursue them. Maybe this has been going on for a while. Like they pursue you, you pursue them, they pursue you. I want to say like cat and mouse. I think that's what that is. But we can definitely see you turning around and you're moving quickly. Maybe you're not responding right away because you didn't expect them to reach out to you. So, okay, this is just one example. But let's say you have WhatsApp, but you only ever use it to talk to this person. So if you're not expecting a message from them, you're not going to open WhatsApp. This is like, that's the vibe that I'm getting. It's like you don't notice that they reached out because you weren't expecting it. Or maybe they sent you snail mail and like nobody does that. You don't check your mailbox unless you're expecting something. So it's just like sitting in your mailbox or sitting in your inbox. And then one day you randomly check it and you're like, holy shit. Like, and maybe it's been sitting there for a while. They made a move and you didn't notice, but when you do notice, looks like you come running with this Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is like, go! Yeah. So, I mean, this is not like you stopped caring, but you have things to do. You have places to be. You have things to make. You have things to work on. You have goals to achieve. And you can do it without this person. Let me be very clear. Like we have the King of Wands here. You can do it without this person. But they will add a certain richness and they will add depth to your emotions. And then I want to say the rest is history. Like they're making a move towards you or reaching out in some way, you're responding, and the rest is history. Like this feels like you, and I mean this metaphorically, like just like diving very deep into each other. Like, oh, now I'm hearing that song. It's like deep inside, deep. Anyway, take that how you will, but yeah, this union energy is hard to explain because it's like a prophecy unfolding, and it's a very long saga. And it might be different for different people, but it's certainly a confirmation, a big confirmation for all of you and of everything that you have been through. So many dreams being confirmed, late night thoughts being confirmed, like wild, crazy thoughts and visions being confirmed. Everything comes together in this moment. And for you, it really feels like a big confirmation. For your person, it just feels like hope is being restored. Feels like they used to be really tapped in and then they kind of lost hope in it, and you're bringing their hope back. Did I ever pull the last card to tie it all together? I don't think I did. I didn't need to, but maybe we can go ahead and do that now before we finish off the reading. Oh, those came out really fast, and there are 3. 6 of Wands in the upright, 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, that's giving me the feeling of collaboration. And collaborating could take you quite far. Again, you can go far on your own, but you could go very far together. You could go very far together. 6 of Wands is making me think of recognition. Now, for some of you, this could be like your connection being recognized by others. So maybe you will. Doesn't seem like you share a lot about your journey so far at this point, but you could start sharing more about it. And it could be very inspiring or very validating to people who are on a similar journey. You might gain recognition as a couple or as a pair. Oh my gosh, and Judgment, which is a repetition, because this Awakening card is Judgment. So I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking of that episode of Black Mirror, San Junipero, which is my favorite episode. I really like that one. And there's this scene at the beginning where one of the main characters is playing a game, like an arcade game. And this guy comes up to her and says something like, oh, that game, it has different endings depending if you're playing like with 1 player or 2 players. And so I feel like that's you. Oh my God, you should watch that episode. I really like it. And I'm thinking of the song at the end. That song, it's like, heaven and a place on earth. You know that one? Oh, I'm gonna write down both of those songs. I don't even know, is the other one a song or is it just like a vocal that people sample? Because I feel like I've heard many songs with that. Deep inside, you know that? I'll look into it, group number 4, because I'm sure you're just dying to know. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, San Junipero and the game, one player versus 2 player. Like, you can definitely play this game 1 player, group number 4, and be very successful. You have a calling on your own. You have a calling on your own, and you also have a calling together. And one is not like better than the other. You can choose. You want to do like the 1 player calling or the 2 player calling. Wow, this is so cool. This is a really, really interesting reading, if I do say so myself. Anyway, I think that is everything I'm seeing. So we're gonna go into the extended now, where we see how close are you to union energy? How close is your person to union energy? We're gonna answer a yes or no question with regards to whether a particular aspect of this journey is going to play out how you're imagining it. Yes or no, and why, and how to change it if you want to change it. And also any significant time frames, places, signs and synchronicities, actions to be taken, anything you should know about the next steps forward. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me in the extended, that's going to be linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. The links to the various platforms will be there. It's the same content, just on different platforms. So I will meet you wherever you want to meet me. If you want to leave the reading here, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, the memberships where you can watch the extendeds that we do here on this channel. You can also watch exclusive full-length pick a card readings. And I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.